Hi ladies, I know that a lot of you are asking me questions about stretching, so I thought I'd shoot a quick video with just some basic stretch movements that I do. Now these can be done both before and after a workout. I definitely have learnt the hard way of how important stretching is. I used to, go straight into the gym, get straight onto the machine, start working heavy, and then the second that I was done, I'd jump in my car and I'd leave, and that would be that. And I was wondering sort of, why I was so sore and why I was always so fatigued and why it wasn't easy to get up any morning. And I actually I've tried yoga and I've tried some things to be more flexible, but it wasn't until I actually started sort of, a 5-minute routine before and after a workout that I really started noticing a difference with my recovery time and even just my results. So I am pro stretching, and I just wanted to shoot some quick exercises to give you guys some ideas of just some easy ones to do before and after a workout. But then you can really do them anytime. Like you can do these in the morning when you wake up and just get your body moving, get your blood flowing, and you're going to be able to get better results if you are more flexible and your mobility is better. So I definitely recommend incorporating stretching into your life. And with that said, basically I'll get started. So I'm going to sort of work from my head down and just show you a few basic exercises to do. So the first thing I'm going to focus on is my neck. So basically you're going to take your hand and sort of touch right above your ear and just slightly give it a bit of a pull. So you're going to feel this stretch in here, and you just want to hold it for a few seconds. I would recommend holding most stretches, for about 15 seconds, and that's each side. So you want to sit here for about 15 seconds. I'm going to go a little bit more quickly, just because for time's sake, so that you're not all falling asleep with these stretches. So basically you've done that side, so you always want to, you never want to just stretch one side of your body. So you want to do the exact same to the other side. And this shouldn't be painful, it should not be strenuous, but you should definitely feel the muscle stretching. So you just want to slightly pull it over, and again you should feel it in here in your neck. So hold that for a few seconds, and then whenever you're coming out of a stretch as well, don't sort of bounce back up really quickly. You want to sort of release and then come back to your natural position, so that you're not, you've just stretched your muscle out, and if you bounce back up from any position, then that could lead to injury if your muscle is not fully warmed up or fully stretched. So now that you've done a little bit of the neck, you can definitely do a few rolls and just get the movement going, but we're going to move to sort of our shoulder area. So a stretch that I love to do, and I just, if I'm ever walking somewhere, sometimes I just do it. If I'm ever standing somewhere, I just do it just to loosen me up. But you want to basically grab just above your elbow here and sort of pull across your body. Your hand, the arm that's being stretched, the hand can just relax. You don't need to be, fist or pointing or flexing or anything crazy like that. So you really want to just be pulling with this hand here, and then you should feel this stretch all through here. And again, it shouldn't be strenuous, it shouldn't hurt. You just want to get a nice stretch going so that you feel the muscles moving. And what you can also do if you feel like you need to add a little bit more tension is sometimes you can hold the stretch and then release it for a second and then go back into it. You'll probably find you'll be able to go a little bit further. And again, both sides. So above the elbow and sort of pulling with this arm a little bit. And just hold that. The rest of your muscles should sort of be relaxed at this stage. So you don't want to be all tensed up while you're trying to stretch a muscle. So try and relax and really just focus on what you're feeling when you're doing the stretches. So hold that for a few more seconds. And again, coming out of every stretch sort of in a relaxed state. You never want to be bouncing back and causing an injury during a stretch. So another one to do is, again, with the elbow, you're sort of grabbing it just under where you were before. And I know you guys can't really see, but you're just pulling it back. Your hand is dropping down sort of to the base of your neck and just resting there. Just hold that for a few seconds, about 15. And then the other. So you want to keep your elbow sort of pointed to the sky for this one, and then you're almost pushing your elbow down to the ground with your hand at the back here, just relaxed. But again, your mobility, you might be a little bit higher, you might not be able to get your hand very low, you might not be able to get your hand fully across, and that's okay. But just make sure you're feeling the stretch and doing whatever modifications you need. Another really good one that I like to do, especially after like chest or anything that's been like, you know, push-ups or anything that's sort of been strenuous on this area of my body here. This one you don't really have to put a lot of work into, it kind of works itself. So you just want to, I have really funky elbows, so I apologize, they're kind of double jointed. But you basically want to point your hands backwards towards your knees and just touch your palms to the mat or the floor. So you shouldn't really have to, you shouldn't be rocking forward here, you shouldn't have to put a lot of pressure on those wrists. You should feel it naturally sort of release in here. There's so many little muscles in here that have a lot of strain on them during workouts. And so just a simple, just sitting here for, you know, 15 seconds, again, coming back out of it for a little bit, just doing a little bit of a roll and then going back into it, you'll find you'll get a little bit more mobility and flexibility, and the stretch will feel a little bit better. So just sitting there for about 15 seconds. Coming out of that one. I usually, once I finish here, I know it's like you're balancing because you're doing the same movement, but I usually just like to turn my hands around and just give my fingers a quick, basically like stretch up towards the sky, just to balance everything out. It's all about the feng shui, right? Coming back to a seated position, basically we're just going to work into our sort of hip area. So you point one leg forward, the other one bend it up towards your chest and actually cross it over your leg. You want the hand that is the opposite leg that's crossed to sort of grab that leg, and you want to be sort of pulling slightly with this leg, keeping your butt on the ground. So you shouldn't be sort of like way over here stretching. You want to keep it centered, and you just want to be slightly pulling so that you should feel it all up in here. So you want to hold that for a few seconds and then release, and then the same one. So you're going to bend this leg, it comes over, and then the opposite side of your body grabs, or you can even do your arm if you can do like a bigger stretch, keeping this on the ground. And you can really sort of, it's a bigger muscle, so you can really sort of give it some, you know, a little bit more than say like your shoulders or something that, or your wrists that doesn't need that much. But because this is such a large area, I tend to really get into it with my elbow here and just holding that, making sure your back isn't twisting doing any funky things. You kind of always want to be squared up as you can. A good one after that one as well, it's sort of the same movement, but you can lie down. So you want to bring this leg across and touch it to the ground. Keeping your shoulders on the ground as much as possible. You should really feel it up here. So again, bend the leg, over it goes, keeping your shoulders on the ground. If you find that your hips are really tight, my hips are definitely one of the areas of my body that need the most stretching. I spend a lot more time sort of in this section stretching out. So a few other quick good ones, even just pulling your knee up, lying back and just holding that knee there for a little bit, of course on both sides. That can be a really good one as well, just to loosen everything up. There's so many big muscles that are important in there. We want to make sure that they're not basically tight, because your range of motion in everything that you do will be limited if that's really tight. So then moving sort of to the hamstrings, you can sort of cross this leg. I'll move back here a little bit, and depending on your range, basically one leg bent up towards your knee area and then leaning down as far as you can. Some people can grab their toes, some people can touch the floor, some people can just grab their shin. So for you, if you can just get to here and you're feeling a stretch all up your leg, totally fine. Just hold that for a little bit. Again, coming out of it and then going back down. switching legs. So crossing this one up towards your knee. Coming out of it, back down. For your sort of calf area, what we can do is you can get into a crouch position like so. Take one of your legs and put it sort of resting on your ankle, and that should be enough. If you're just trying to bring your heel towards the ground, that should be enough that you feel that stretch. You can move your hands sort of closer or further apart. You'll feel the stretch change. And then switching legs. Try and, as you're holding the stretch, try and get your heel closer and closer and closer to the ground. And then you want to come out of that one. We are going to go back into it, just for the Achilles. So back up, same position with the cross, but instead you're going to drop that knee. Switch legs, drop the knee. So you should be feeling this one sort of right up here. For some crazy reason, of course, the only time I want to film a video, my phone cuts out. So I apologize about that. We had a little break there, but it allowed me actually to grab some props. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that I have here for stretching. One of them is a foam roller. If you don't have one of these, I definitely recommend getting them. You will have a love-hate relationship with them. So if you do have one and you're not sure how to use it, just feel free to shoot me a message and we can go over that. I will shoot a video, but it's not the prettiest thing because it does cause a lot of pain for me. But they are really good. Like, I noticed a night and day difference when I incorporated foam rolling into my life. Another thing that you can use is one of these bands. So basically they just allow you to get a little bit more, I guess, movement and stretch going. So for example, like if you're lying down and you want to grab your leg and you just want to be pulling it up and stretching, you know, a band is really good for that. So I recommend getting one of those, especially if your motion isn't fantastic. They really help because they're sort of extended arms, go-go gadget arms. Then the third thing is one of these. So this is actually technically like a foot massager, I believe, but what I find it works really well. You can use a tennis ball as well. You don't need like a fancy ball, but for rolling certain like areas like knots out of your body. So if you have somebody that can help you, if you have some knots in your back, just sort of rubbing this against that. What I use this most for is I have some muscles in here that I get a lot of tightness with. So I'll actually sit on the ball. You guys can't really see. So I'll sit on the ball and I'll actually sort of put most of my weight on it and I'll sort of roll out whatever muscle is sore there. And you'll know, like, if you do have the sore muscle, the second that the ball hits, it actually, like, you'll feel it. So if that is something that you experience, I recommend getting some sort of ball or a tennis ball will do the trick, and just rolling it out. Even while you're like watching TV or you know, listening to whatever, some music, just like get on the floor, relax for a little bit, and then start rolling out your muscles, and your body will thank you. So yeah, that basically takes care of this video. I really do hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, I'm open to answering anything and everything that you guys have, but I hope that this gave you some basic movements to do before and after the gym for sure. If you feel like incorporating stretching into your life more, I recommend, I've started actually getting up early in the morning, putting some meditation music on, and just having a good stretch. I feel like it loosens up my muscles, it actually just gets everything firing, and I start feeling more ready and ready to attack the day basically. So I definitely recommend getting stretching in your life if it's not already, and if it is, maybe seeing if you can increase the levels of stretching that you do. I would love to hear how it goes for you. I'd love to hear any questions that you have or anything that you're struggling with. I'm here to answer those. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.